I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better, if you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents. But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around. Be careful, Mother. As if me saying that will make any difference. Knowing Mortimer, I wouldn't be surprised if he rigged his crypt with traps.
So you think the door is not enough?
Do you want to wager your other hand?
You've got a point there. We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The Lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Yes. The centurion that pierced the side of Christ with his lance. That weapon naturally became a holy relic.
Exactly.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not. You take care of getting the lance. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
Hang on a second.
What's the matter?
Why did you shoot Emily's sister?
Do you really think now is the right time for this?
I want to know, Mother. Why did you betray her?
Listen, Louis, I don't think you've really understood my interest in the Al-Azif. It's not just simple curiosity about some old relic.
You tried to kill her.
And I had no choice, for crying out loud. It must not fall into the hands of the demons, or we are all doomed, don't you see? Listen, I don't know exactly what it contains, but I prefer to be one step ahead. If they want it, there must be a reason. And even if I don't know what it is, I want to stop them for safety's sake, no matter what.
Nothing will stop you if I understand correctly.
Enough, Louis. If you could see the extent of their power as I do, then you would understand what I'm saying.
All right, we'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
Flavius Aetius. I remember. He was the Roman general who defeated Attila and his hordes in the terrible battle of the Catalonian plains. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories. But how did he end up here? Flavius Aetius. It was cut a long time ago. You can tell by the rough hacks of the tool and the patina of the stone. This sarcophagus is very ancient. I'd say it's several centuries old. This sarcophagus has been ravaged by time. It's sort of ageless, I guess. It's entirely sculpted. These symbols, these grooves, cuneiform script. This is humanity's oldest alphabet, the language of Babel. Sadly, no one today even knows how to decipher it. There's also some text engraved beneath in ancient Greek, Sargon. Is this the tomb of a king? Judging by all the sculpted symbols of power, this is really ancient. The inscriptions are all eroded. I don't know what those marks mean, but maybe a stone or an epitaph. We can see that this lance has a particular spear shape. It is coated in gold. You can distinguish the symbol of the fish engraved on the tip, barely noticeable. There's several spearheads. I need to find clues to pick the right one. Piaggi knows something about it for sure. We can see that this lance has a leaf shape and Well, it's in gold. I can see that a crucifix is engraved on the tip, just barely visible. Let's take a look at this lance here. It has a very special leaf shape. It is copper rimmed, and I can see a fish symbol engraved on the tip. The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer. Let's see what we can find here. It's far too heavy. I'm not going to be able to do it on my own. The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer. It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription. Let's see what we can find here. Ha! Great! Now let's see what's inside. The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer. Let's see what we can find here. It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Dear Monsieur Peru, I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. Great, honey. The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad.
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat will be waiting for you in Calais and will take you to Dover in England. From there, a carriage will take you to the port of Tintagel, where a frigate will be waiting for you and other guests, so you can meet up with me on my island as quickly as possible. I await your arrival. Lord William Mortimer.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. T.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice. Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself. My dear Giuseppe, poor health forbids me from joining you. Please thank Sir Gregory for his invitation to Lord Mortimer's. I'm convinced you'll be able to strengthen our agreements. Please tell Sir Gregory that his enterprise concerning our friend Cardinal Bishop Chiaramonti is following its course. I place my trust in you. May God bless you and give you protection. SS Giovanni Angelico Braschi. John the Baptist, Youth with a Ram, by Caravaggio. A very sensual vision and very far from the usual representations of St. John. Amber crystals. The Lying Girl by Boucher. Here's a painting of mischievous eroticism. I wonder what Piaggi must think of this. The Rape of the Daughters of Leucippus by Rubens. Surprising choice for His Eminence Piaggi. Love Triumphant by Caravaggio. Now there's someone for whom the sex of angels is no mystery. Venus and Cupid with a Satyr by Correggio. Innocence, indiscretion, and lechery. Giuseppe must love that. Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Let's have a look at his personal papers. Of course, it's in Latin, the language of the church. All those hours of learning Latin declensions are going to pay off in the end. Mother will be proud. Now this could be interesting. Let's say a sancte, various representation criteria, of which are shown the most common throughout the centuries, and in different forms. If Piaggi's notes are anything to go by, the weapon I'm looking for is shaped like a tapered spear, and that should help me identify it.
Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself.
Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
are not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I heard you speak to Mr. von Wollner about it, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about it.
That was a private conversation. How could I have known that he was listening to us?
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can.
Your Eminence, are you all right? Your Eminence, are you with me? Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
His nose is bleeding.
So you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
No, I was wondering about it myself.
Oh, Louis. It's even worse than I thought. I believe you when you say you've only come to find out more. But in that case, it means that Sarah didn't even tell you the point of it all. Because, believe me, you are looking for it. You are looking for the lance. You should know. You are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
No, you are the first I've spoken to about it, Your Eminence.
Come now, Louis. Are you quite sure of that?
Yes, my mother knows about it.
Of course, Sarah. Who else?
No one else.
What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
If I told you why I needed this lance, you would never believe it.
Trust me, you can tell me anything.
It's our only chance to vanquish the demons.
Oh, my dear God, Louis. You sound just like Sarah. Do you realize you are following the same path, step by step? Sarah also started by imagining things. She, too, spoke of demons, I am told. She could no longer speak to anyone, and saw a hidden monster in every guest, lurking in the shadows, ready to devour her. You must let us help you. Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out, covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
I'm back on the trail of my mother again. I don't have time to explain, but would you know anything about the Holy Lance?
That's good news. But be careful, Louis. You might end up getting noticed.
Do you know anything or not?
No, I regret I don't. But why not ask von Wallner? Theology is his field, after all.
That's an idea. In that case, I'll try and find him.
You are keeping up the good work, I see. But I'm telling you, keep your guard up. Everyone is rather on edge right now.
You're right. Thanks for everything, Mr. President.
See you later.
This one has no name. I wonder who it was for. This sarcophagus is engraved with the name of Clemens III. Good God! The one whose cross allowed me to enter. Clemens III. Clément III in French. How come his tomb ended up here and not in the Vatican? That was the Pope from the Middle Ages who inspired the Third Crusade. He gave the Roman people the power to elect their magistrates. This sarcophagus is beautifully made, but ancient. The stone is marked by the passage of time, but it's really well preserved. I can see that this spear has a so-called leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. I can see the tip is engraved with the symbol of the Eye of Ra. I can see that this lance has the characteristic shape of a spear. It is made of iron, and its tip is engraved with a cross. I can see that this lance has a so-called leaf shape. It is made entirely of iron. I can see that the tip is engraved with the symbol of the sun. Well, here we can see this lance has a leaf shape, is gold rimmed, and a fish is engraved on the tip. Flavius Aetius. Let's take a look at this lance here. It has a very special leaf shape. It is copper rimmed, and I can see a fish symbol engraved on the tip. I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip. There's no room for error. Am I sure this is the one to take? I'm already pressed for time as it is. Mother's waiting for me on the wharf.
De Richet, sticking your nose everywhere again.
Wow, what's the matter with him? Excuse me, monsieur. I don't follow you.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
Why? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Piaget and Volner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him, immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick.
Fragment of amber.
I'd better get over to the wharf. No point in risking another confrontation.
The Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything. Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Am I disturbing you?
Monsieur de Richet, it seems you are everywhere. Was Mr. von Wollner able to help you?
Help me?
Yes. For your armillary sphere.
Oh, yes, that.
Louis, everything all right?
Yes. Excuse me, I was miles away.
Oh, while you're here, you wouldn't know who the last guest is, would you?
What do you mean?
I heard Sir Gregory speaking about it. A certain Al-Azif, something or other.
Who? What?
Obviously not. It's not important, forget it.
No, hang on.
It doesn't matter, I'm telling you. We'll find out soon enough. I'm in a hurry right now. I'm waiting for someone. See you later, Louis.
Shit. I haven't time either. See you later.
Ah, Louis. Perfect timing.
As luck would have it.
Come, my boy. I would like to have a word with you. Come closer, please. It's time we had a little chat.
What's wrong, my lord? Tell me. What's with all the bodyguards?
Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road.
The wrong road?
Louis, Sarah has made her own choices of her own free will, and I would like for you to have the same chance. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory. About me, about Gregory, about the demons. She's right. Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this dear William Mortimer.
You've been Mortimer for 600 years? How long have the demons been among mankind?
Oh, I don't think I'd be lying if I said that we have always been here.
If I follow you, you must have witnessed some of the greatest moments in history.
You could certainly say that, yes.
You seem to be fascinated by Christ. You weren't him, were you?
Oh, no, not at all. He was my father, though. Strange as it seems.
I beg your pardon? Am I dreaming? Ugh, please tell me I'm dreaming.
We should have the chance to talk about all that again later, but yes, he was my father. All the mythology surrounding Jesus of Nazareth really stems from my father's prideful need to show himself among men.
Did you know ancient Egypt?
Oh, yes. We were gods on earth in those days.
What did men call you then?
Amenhotep IV.
The 10th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty?
Ooh, I see you're a connoisseur, Louis. Impressive.
Did you know ancient Greece?
In many ways, yes. One day Pericles, the next Parmenides. Just the memory of the time I spent working on acoustics with Pythagoras. Well, it moves me quite deeply, to tell the truth.
Pericles. He's the one who brought Athens to its golden age, isn't he?
In a way, yes.
He established democracy and then died during an epidemic. It wasn't so long after his 2 sons passed away. Isn't that right?
Excuse me, Louis. I would rather not relive any more of that, if you don't mind.
Did you experience ancient Rome?
Oh, yes. Luxury and decadence, Louis. My family did indeed reign supreme, but from this period I retain only the works of my friend, Marcus Vitruvius Pollio.
I've noticed that you have a passion for the Crusades.
Among other things, yes. Mainly the third. It was during the siege of St. Joan of Arc that I took possession of Lord Mortimer.
And you've never changed skins or bodies since?
I have used other envelopes, but only to carry out very short tasks. Apart from that, indeed, I have been able to retain the identity of William Alexander Mortimer throughout the centuries.
And you truly have the power to manipulate the thoughts of men.
That's right. Every demon has the capacity to infiltrate the minds of men and to read and steer their thoughts.
And what do you do with this power?
We help them, of course.
Of course you do. And you expect me to believe that, I suppose.
Louis, demon is just a word. It all depends on what exists beneath the surface. I understand that this isn't easy. The culture of men is centered on the fact that demons are responsible for all the evils on Earth.
But if it's the same in every single culture, then maybe there might be something to it. Don't you think?
Certainly there is something to it. Control. Man has spent his existence wishing to believe in the supernatural and imposing his belief on others. What could be more convenient for manipulating the masses? A perfect, inaccessible being and a plethora of demons in every one. The perfect idea to relieve men of all responsibility while still finding them guilty.
Can you tell me more about your capacities, your supernatural powers?
Supernatural? From my point of view, they are perfectly natural. Well, Louis, just because the monkey does not fly doesn't mean that we should consider the bird a supernatural creature. We are all part of a grand design. We are simply made like this. By developing our art, we are able to read thoughts as well as write in the minds of men. It is possible for us to make them bow to our desire, but it doesn't work without leaving some scars.
Lucifer, the fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668 angels. Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculous. We are not angels. We don't have wings. There is certainly nowhere near 1,000,000 of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family. But it is very difficult to know exactly how many of us there are because a large number of our kind remain hidden or never reveal themselves even to us.
You're the devil incarnate.
The devil? I'm not saying that all Judeo-Christian folklore hasn't served us, but the truth is, of course, something quite different. Please, don't look at us through the primitive prism of religions. I am not hiding any horns or goat's feet, Louis. I have no tail.
Why do you bring up folklore? You mean that you've taken advantage of people's beliefs?
No, not exactly. I mean that we in fact created them from scratch. It is amazing to see how mankind has such a strong need to believe in something superior to itself. It was very instructive for what was to come.
But why me?
Why do I tell you about the greatest secret ever revealed to man?
That's right.
I'm coming to that. Don't worry.
What are the demons' projects for humanity?
Our aim has long since been to protect humanity from itself. On the other hand, although we give them the impulse to succeed, we don't all agree as to the path they take to achieve it.
How would you qualify your species scientifically?
Good question. What is your area of expertise?
Given the choice, I'd choose philosophy.
So, consider us as an idea, Louis. We are but a word in the minds of men. But this word is capable of anything. Empires have been built on words.
What has my mother got to do with all this?
She embarked on a crusade many years ago to kill all the demons.
That must have upset you. I imagine you retaliated.
No, I'm afraid she never forgave me.
Forgave what?
We met when she was still just a young woman. I appeared to her in a different form because I didn't want to reveal the identity of Lord Mortimer at that time. She was looking for someone interested in the occult to decipher an ancient book. We spent many years together until I revealed my
Al-Azif,
true nature to her. Did she speak about it?
Not so long ago, yes.
Indeed, it was already Al-Azif. She wanted to unlock the secrets.
Why should I trust you?
I'm not asking you to, Louis. If you are still in doubt about the demons, I can assure you that won't last long.
Continue.
Louis, it's time you opened your eyes. Come, you'll soon see.
After you. If you could manipulate us mentally, what's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
You must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons. Many of us were killed during this period. The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries of the world. Now, whenever one of us wanted to propose a major change between these countries, they summon the demon in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are allowed to be persuasive but not to impose our will. A second meeting closes the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game, isn't it?
I understand your remark, but after living several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what reflection and pleasure you can.
But how do you agree on global policy?
Locally, we often have competing interests, and sometimes we start wars between men which are linked to our disagreements. Most of the time, our father steps in and gives directives, which my family follow to the letter. Indeed, in my opinion, it is high time we moved on.
What do you mean?
I mean that a new era must begin. The old monarchic regimes are outdated, and it's time to evolve.
Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the patriarchal control of my father. As he and myself are not really on very good terms, sending poor Elizabeth here was terribly rude of him, really.
You did accept, though.
No, I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home.
It was you who killed her.
The child was already condemned, Louis. My father would never have let her be. I had to pass inside her mind and, yes, make her take her own life. Trapped between the unyielding control of my father and your mother's terrible treatments, I wouldn't wish a life like that on anyone. would you?
So neither my mother nor Peru were ever guilty. You just gave me the runaround with that whole investigation.
Now don't take it the wrong way. I was obliged to keep up appearances so that Gregory wouldn't suspect me. And it enabled me to size you up, Louis.
So, von Borchert, he was looking for the Al-Azif for you.
Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis. And with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What, you mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Sarah came here with it and got rid of it. I was thinking of von Borchert. He isn't essential, but he is a trusted person.
He's a prisoner at our headquarters in Paris.
All right. I hope I've answered all your questions, Louis. Come, I've something to show you.
There is one question that remains to be answered. Why me? Why tell me all of this?
Oh, haven't you guessed yet?
I've got an idea, but it might seem stupid.
Trust me.
Am I one? I mean, am I a demon?
Would you like that?
I must admit that the idea is appealing.
Look, we are of the gods, Louis. Always have been. You, as much as me, you are one of us, Louis. You too are a demon.
Are you serious?
You know it. Deep down inside, you know I am telling you the truth. Where do you think that natural, charismatic presence comes from? Your talent must already have manifested itself somehow. Have you ever had any visions?
No. Stop it. It's absurd.
Have you never found yourself suddenly inside someone else's body without knowing why?
No.
Whilst asleep, maybe? That's how it often happens the first time. Your spirit wanders unconsciously.
My mother can't have lied to me about that.
It's true. Your real mother would never have lied to you.
What do you mean?
Louis, I would rather you found this out from her own lips, but it's important that you know. Sarah is not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Louis. But you must know the truth before you commit an irreparable act.
No, no, it's not possible.
You are my son.
Liar! Well. So now you're his bastard. You really took me for a fool. Don't make a move, you clowns!
Everybody keep calm.
Don't say a word or I'll shoot your kid! Not so clever now, are we? At last I found a way to put the pressure on you, Mortimer.
Look, just calm down, monsieur.
You stopped me from ending it all. Because of you, I've had to pay for it. You don't know what it's like. He's in your head. He's in your soul. I never want to feel that again.
Jacques, I did not betray you.
You're just like him!
Jacques, I've only just found out that I'm his son. You can't hold that against me.
You don't understand. You're already in his clutches. Everything was set up to bring you here and reveal the secret of your birth to you. Open your goddamn eyes! You've always been under his thumb! So, what are you gonna do now? You've just found out your true nature. What difference does it make?
Jack, I can assure you that what Lord Mortimer just told me makes no difference.
That's what you think. But you're already in his hands. And you don't even know it, Louis.
No, Jacques, it's the contrary. Everything that's been happening here has been carefully planned by the Golden Order for months. And everything is going exactly as planned. Lower your weapon. It's all right. It's over. You'll make it through. and you're going to get your life back.
You're just like him. You are already. You can't see it, or you don't want to see it, but it's already too late. In fact, I haven't got any choice.
You always have a choice. You know very well what will happen to you if you shoot me. You're going to be held accountable, and you will lose everything, starting with your freedom and then your head.
I told you, I don't care.
Not about yourself, maybe, but what about your daughter? It wouldn't be the same for her, would it?
Shut up! Shut up!
She will be alone, in a world that you know is hostile. What will become of her?
That's true, but...
Don't abandon her. Not a second time. It's your last chance, my friend. It's over. Come now, monsieur.
You know what I told you. Evil and good depend on you, and not on your nature.
Yes, it's true, and the same holds true for all of us.
Monsieur Peru, I am willing to overlook this latest scene. You can thank my son for that. I think, however, that you ought to take your leave for your good and ours, as well as that of your daughter. Not too shaken up. You've experienced many significant events since your arrival.
You can say that again.
For now, I think you ought to find Sarah, my son. You ought to talk things over with her.
So she's been lying to me all along?
Let her justify herself. What's done is done. Sarah must explain herself. You must clear the air. We'll have all the time we need to talk afterwards. But all in good time. Before you join her, I'd like to give you something. As a demon, I would like to introduce you to your first talent.
What do you mean?
Open your mind, my son. Relax. You hold immense power. It's already there inside you. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Just let me show you the way.
I should relax.
Open your mind. Hear my voice. Feel the vibrations and listen to what has been happening to you deep inside, but which you have been concealing. Trust yourself. It's all already in there.
I can hear something.
Now breathe.
It's a sound, very faint.
That's right. Concentrate on it. My voice is growing fainter, but I am here.
Whispers, words, mixed voices.
Focus on one of them. Don't be afraid.
I sense a stream. Some words are clear, but not all of them.
Let them enter into your mind.
I hear them. Now I can hear a clear voice.
Well done, Louis. Congratulations.
What was it?
You are now able to read people's minds.
What?
You heard me. From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to read their current thoughts. So, if you need to know something in particular from someone, all you have to do is make them think about it.
But I'd be violating their minds, wouldn't I?
No, nothing of the sort. You won't really be penetrating their psyches. Let's just say you'll be picking up residual signals emitted by their thoughts. It isn't intrusive at all, rest assured. There are also a few rules you need to know that govern this talent when used between ourselves. You can read the thoughts of demons as well as of humans. But be careful. A demon more experienced than yourself will know that you are spying and will often react quite violently. It's considered bad form to play around the psyche of another demon. It's a question of courtesy. But let's be clear. What is most considered bad form is getting caught. So I would advise against trying to read the thoughts of Gregory, for example.
Home?
Yes, the old grump is touchy, and rather a stickler about the conventions. On that note, go and see Sarah, Louis. Otherwise, she might leave without you. We'll continue this discussion later, if you want. Just join me in my study when you've finished.
Let's see what Mortimer's thinking about.
He is thinking he might not have been clear enough with you. When I told you not to try to read into Gregory or her experienced demons, it also applied to me, of course.
You can hear me think?
Of course I can. I can sense you. For the moment, your mind shines like 1,000 lights because you haven't yet mastered the art of concealment from the psyches of others. So, I give you a weapon, and the first thing you do is try to shoot me with it? If my intentions were evil, you would already be at my mercy. So be very careful on whom you use the talent.
All right. Please excuse me.
And don't ever apologize, my son. You are far above that from now on. Now go. One more thing. If you want to know the truth about your birth, ask her about Paris, 1763, at 12 Rue des Martyrs. That's where she disemboweled your mother to steal you from me.
It's not that I regret all these discussions, but I must hurry to the wharf.
You shot her in cold blood.
What is at stake here far outweighs our personal interests.
Our personal interests? I'm talking about my sister's life. She was my other half.
Calm down, Emily. Calm down.
Louis, don't come near me.
I warned you what would happen if I found her. I was so hoping it wouldn't end like this. I'm fed up with all these deaths.
Emily, put the weapon down.
She has to pay for all the harm she's done to me.
Well, to be fair, we've all made mistakes. And look at her, Emily. She's paid for hers.
I'm all alone now.
Duchess, I am sorry for what happened. I didn't have any choice.
Are you? Shut your mouth. You had the choice, all right. You used people according to your own desires, without any scruples.
Excuse me, Duchess, but we're in the same line of business.
Shut it!
And as for Emma, she knew only too well.
No, Emily. Look at me. Emily?
What did you say?
You're not like her. Neither you nor Emma are like Sarah. Ever since you got here, you've always tried to help me. I trust you, Emily. And Emma would never have betrayed me either.
No, she wasn't like that. She was loyal. But why did Sarah betray Emma? Why?
Your sister was supposed to hide something, and no one was supposed to have been able to find it.
And she would never have talked, even under torture. So why get rid of her?
Unfortunately, Emily, the creatures who live here employ methods that no one can resist.
I was going to get her out of there, for God's sake. So what are you talking about? Don't tell me Emma died because of that book. I have to know. Anything but that damn book.
Mortimer and Holm can read our very thoughts.
What?
Emma would have never been able to resist them.
What are you talking about?
Mortimer has the power to read thoughts.
That's impossible.
And yet, he has found a way. It wouldn't even have been difficult for him to get into her mind. Look what they did to that poor girl Elizabeth. Look at Peru. He was pushed right to the edge, year after year.
I can't believe it.
I promise you, it's the truth.
Louis, Do you realize what you are asking me to believe?
I know, but it's the truth, Emily.
How do you expect me to accept this? We are in the Golden Order precisely to fight against such beliefs.
Do you remember those deeds we found behind the chimney? They weren't fake. There's a reason why they're all signed by his same hand.
Demons.
In his study, he keeps the Mortimer family tree. They produced only boys, just one per generation since the Third Crusade, and they are all called William. He justifies his own existence, Emily.
Look, I'm going to believe you, but if you're taking me for a ride...
Unfortunately for us, it'd be impossible to even make up a story like that.
All right, I believe you. Thank him. You owe him your life.
I have always been very lucky to have him as my son. I really thought my next breath would be my last.
Well, anything's possible.
This is no time to be joking. Just help me climb aboard this boat, and let's get off of this cursed island.
No, I'm not going anywhere, and neither are you, until you've told me everything.
For crying out loud, what are you talking about?
Paris, 1763, number 12 on Rue des Martyrs.
No. I beg you, please trust me. He's manipulating you. We must leave.
Paris.
Can't you see he wants you? And he'll do anything to turn you against me.
Number 12 on Rue des Martyrs.
He had to pay for what he did to me. I panicked. There she was with the baby due. I thought it was the right time to touch it, but
touch it? By disemboweling her and stealing me from her?
The girl was already condemned to die. He never leaves any witnesses behind. She meant nothing to him. And I absolutely had to find a way of stopping him. I couldn't let him reproduce. I had to stop him propagating himself.
You snatched a newborn baby from its mother's womb with the sole goal of seeking revenge.
From the second I took you in, I couldn't bear to be apart from you. I looked after you, fed you, raised you, like a mother.
I know. You always took care of me.
I devoted my whole life to teaching you to distinguish between right and wrong, so you would have the choice. You are not like him.
But you never told me.
I wanted to. I very nearly told you everything, at least a dozen times.
You didn't, though, did you? Why?
I don't know, Louis. I couldn't. Not after Venice.
Talk to me about Venice.
Oh, no. Louis, let's go. I'll tell you everything once we get home. Now come.
You never wanted us to speak about it again. Winter 1791. Do you remember?
Louis, no. We agreed to never speak about it again.
Now I understand. We were on the trail of a businessman. We broke into his place one night. We ran into his wife.
Not that, Louis. It's in the past.
She too was pregnant. Was he Mortimer's as well?
Louis,
Answer.
Yes!
What became of the child?
I gave it away.
For him too? You became his mother, didn't you?
No, I gave him to a couple who couldn't have children. I never saw him again.
How many children have you stolen from him?
I saved all of you, Louis. I gave you a normal life. 9. Louis, yes. I made mistakes in the past, but now I'm ready to...
Do you consider me a mistake?
No, not you. You are what I am most proud of in my whole life. You are good. You fight to do right. You are not like him.
Still, he is my father. Why did you steal me?
You don't want to know, believe me.
For once in your life, be honest. Why all this mess? Why do you have it in for him so much? Why?
Because I'm his daughter. I know what he's doing. I see he has his eye on you. He's hovering around you, tempting you. He did it to me before you. And if you don't live up to his expectations, he will cast you away.
Is that what happened to you?
I wasn't good enough for him. So he rejected me.
What do you mean?
He tried to initiate me, but it would seem I am unable to develop his talent. I can't withdraw my mind from my body.
I get it. The reason why you abducted me is because he didn't love you, isn't it?
He doesn't love anyone, Louis. Don't be taken in.
You are my mother. Whatever you've done, I can't take that away from you. It doesn't excuse everything, but in time we will find a way of putting it all behind us.
Oh, thank you, Louis. Thank you. I will never lie to you again. Come on, let's go.
No, Mother. I'm not going back with you. I can't.
What do you mean? Louis, you can't stay here.
Don't worry about me. I have to stay. I still have a lot to learn. But you go.
Louis!
I'll see you in Paris. Don't worry. Here. This is yours.
Don't forget, Louis. You've got the lance. You can beat him. If you hit him with it, he won't be able to escape from his mortal envelope, and he will die with it.
Rational and open. I spent my whole life swimming in lies. Emily, what a waste. I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse. No, this is an advantage. I could get used to this pretty quickly, I think. Damn it, what a mess. Come on, man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers. There's no way of being alone for a minute. Sir Gregory?
Good day, Louis. I think it would be good to talk. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our family. It's a good thing, but you must be a bit shaken up.
That's the least you can say.
I bid you welcome among us, Louis. Knowing William, he probably didn't go into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
What do you mean, exactly?
Are you trying to get information from me?
No, not at all. I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question. It seems.
Is there a head of the family?
You'll see. You'll meet them all, of course, when you are ready. They created us and set out the rules, especially our father. As for our mother, she retired from the political stage. We don't see her much anymore. I think that all these questions simply bore her.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies.
Well, tell me then, are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
What's Lord Mortimer's problem?
I think he allows himself to be devoured by a need for recognition.
Has he always been like that?
More or less, but thinking about it, I believe that the birth of our latest sibling greatly accentuated his discomfort.
Do you think he's jealous?
I didn't realize you were so good at behavioral analysis. Indeed, William certainly is prone to jealousy. Finding one's place, notably in the eyes of our father, is not easy, and we each do what we can to succeed. But I can't justify this perpetual rebellion against our rules.
I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand, regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself, is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help, and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
But if your intention is not to dominate the human race, why not let them be master of their own destinies?
I perfectly understand this type of reaction from you, less from William. The main thing you're lacking is time. Man is transient, and one of his particularities is that he does not learn from the errors of his peers. He uses up an incredible amount of energy building and destroying whatever he himself has put into place. If we weren't here to help them, guide them, I sincerely believe that humanity would have become extinct by now. On the other hand, we are eternal, Louis. When we plan ahead, we do it for the long term.
Well, indeed, from that point of view, it is better to guide them.
It's rare for a novice demon to manage to stop thinking like a man so quickly. It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles. And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard. I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
Are you suggesting he might be in danger?
Well, Louis, our father's patience is not limitless. If William ever does go too far, then yes, he will be in danger. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now. I haven't the time.
Why is his study in such a mess? Looks like Volner's planning something. Look, a blotter. And apparently it's been used recently. I wonder what Volner was going to write. It's smudged. It's not all legible. I can make out the signature though, and leave as Azif planned landing stage. So Volner is going to leave Al-Azif at the landing stage, isn't he? What a mess. Looks like Volner was interrupted. Looks a lot like straw, and he's drawn something in a hurry on this sheet. Straw on his desk, as if to protect something fragile. Yes, someone must have packed something away here. Straw on his desk, as if to protect something fragile. Yes, someone must have packed something away here. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before. Yes, it's definitely a drawing of the lock of Al-Azif. Volner must have kept a copy. Straw on his desk, as if to protect something fragile. Yes, someone must have packed something away here. What you recovered for me. It must be about the Al-Azif. Volner told me that he had managed to find it. Chemistry set. That's not surprising coming from von Volner. The alchemist is a young man. Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Pardon me, monsieur, but I have work to do.
Leave me, de Richet. I want nothing more to do with you. I'll have left within the hour, and I wish never to see you again for the rest of my life.
Emily, can I come in?
No, it's not a good time. Not right now. Leave me alone.
I can tell from your voice that there's something wrong. Let me in. We have to talk, Emily.
I said no, goddamn you.
You know full well that getting yourself worked up like this is not going to help. It won't make any difference. It won't bring Emma back.
Forget. I couldn't give a damn if it makes any difference. I only want to not think of anything. And then get out of here. I told you not to come in.
Emily, I only want to talk. I understand that you're upset after everything.
You understand? You understand nothing.
Listen, we're going through a difficult time. Even I'm dumbfounded and
Dumbfounded. Dumbfounded. Do you want to know how I feel? Dear God, how could I have done this? I want it to stop.
We've all lost something here.
All this, everything that's happened, it's a nightmare. I want to wake up.
Emily, calm down and put down that glass.
I know you're telling the truth about Mortimer and home. I know they are demons.
That's not all.
Go on.
I'm one of them, Emily. I'm a demon too.
I know.
But how?
Sir Gregory stopped by to tell me. He wanted to bid me a welcome.
I don't understand.
Welcome to the family.
You? You're his daughter?
Mortimer's daughter, Louis.
That makes you my sister?
Yes. Just the thought of the night when I suggested that we... I feel so ashamed, Louis. And that means Emma is your sister too.
Oh, shit. I spent the night with my own sister?
I was attracted to you from the moment we first spoke on the boat. And now I understand why. Do you realize what that means? I'm a monster.
And I am one as well. When I think of my feelings for you, that feeling, it hurts all of a sudden. She's there. I can feel her inside me. She's trying to read my thoughts. Emily, don't do that. Get out of my mind, please. Let me remind you that it's forbidden between demons.
Sorry, Louis. I didn't want to.
I have a sister.
It's very strange for me too. A sister for a brother.
Yes.
Yes. I must get some rest. I must ask you to leave me now.
All right, but don't finish that bottle.
Don't start now. I would like to get some sleep.
I'll be leaving you then. Thank you, Emily.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately...
letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present. A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam.
Louis, I was sure you would stay. I'm proud of you. You have made the right choice. It took great maturity to forgive your sister as you did.
She brought me up. I realized I owed her a lot.
We all make mistakes, as Sarah well knows.
Why didn't you tell me the truth about her?
I thought that might be too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say. Confused about everything? I have to admit, it's been a lot to take in such a short amount of time.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time. From now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you. We've all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
I think he's worried about you.
Worried? Marvelous. That's just like him. You know, in a family like ours, we all have a role to play. And his is to worry about everyone else. Let me reassure you, there's no reason for him to worry about me.
Like the relationship with your father, for example.
It's sometimes complicated, I must admit. I like to understand things, even if it means thinking outside the box. In fact, that's a character trait that you seem to have inherited.
You haven't answered about your father.
What did I tell you? You are too curious, my son. Let time do its work. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past. Each time it's happened, many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
You really are trying to liberate men.
Of course, not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed. A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas, if you give him a roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
Do you have any more examples?
Of course.
Talk to me about slavery.
Well, take the slave trade, for example. It's an archaic practice that simply has to stop. Today, black slaves of America work for free and in unbearable conditions. Tomorrow, if you free the blacks and offer them work along with a salary, they will bless you for it. Then, they will be integrated into the system. They will be taxable. Once they are free, they will have to work for a roof, pay taxes, and feed their families. Maybe we could take away the civil rights of prisoners, for example. In this way, we'll keep control of all those who respect the system and benefit from the others as a workforce.
And what would you propose for women?
They must be given the right to work and to vote. Look, at the moment, they don't work. They take care of raising children. What a mistake. We have to get them out of the house. Make them work. In this way, not only will they become consumers, but they will also delegate the job of education to the system. We could guide humanity from a young age, Louis, don't you see? Today, we are wasting too much time. What obscurantism! By harping on this concept of good and evil, guilt and redemption, look where men are now, locked up in beliefs that should no longer exist. It's time for men to rediscover themselves and to take control of their lives, as they really are, without any moral judgment.
Tell me what you think about progress.
Progress is essential, Louis. It's the future.
What else?
Progress must liberate humanity from burdensome chores. Progress must replace man wherever his presence is not obligatory. It creates both the desire and the need. It will liberate women as soon as the machines are able to do all the chores in the home automatically. It will bring men together by bringing a faster means of locomotion. Look at the Cultural Revolution that printing brought about. But the most important of all has already been laid. The foundation stone. Freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the Constitution. There must be opponents to every project. So, above all, don't develop a one-track approach, otherwise man won't have enough room for expression to feel free. If man sees his chains, he will only want to break them. If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed their limits, and it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what we really are?
Who do you mean? Demons?
Yes, us. Our species. I've been searching for centuries, trying to find a way to explain the reason of our existence, but humanity has not yet evolved enough to make any progress on the subject. I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are? I see your point.
Our family clings to its privileges and to the past, and that's how they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
I don't see how I could do that.
I shall help you the first time.
How do you do it?
It's an animal resonance. How it works is still a bit unclear even to us.
Like a wave or a sound?
That seems the most likely, yes. In my opinion, demons are capable of tuning their psychic frequency to that of others. That is why, for example, I tend to surround myself with deaf and dumb servants. The servants dressed in black. I infiltrated them. I opened a channel between them and me, and then I deprived them of speech and hearing. This way, no other demon can turn them against me.
Okay, let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, but it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaggi to inform the Pope he has changed sides.
You're going to use your powers to alter the votes?
The real game is about to begin, Louis. Up till now, the guests have been sizing each other up. From now on, it's time for Gregory and myself to play. As well as you yourself. Now, here is my plan. I would like you to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Invade?
Yes. You're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and his psyche. Make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself go. You have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me, and I'll send it off immediately.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Ah, well, Louis, what brings you back to my chambers?
May I sit down?
Of course, Louis. Don't you feel good?
Yes, but if I'm gonna pass inside you, I'd better sit myself down first.
It's nothing, don't worry about it.
Well, what can I do for you?
Right. Now I need to concentrate.
I wanted to speak to you, Your Eminence. What exactly is your role with regard to the Holy Father?
What? What on earth is he playing at?
It's coming.
You're a cardinal in Pictori. Why don't you admit it?
Impertinent little brat. Louis, I don't find this conversation in very good taste.
All right, it's coming. Come on, Giuseppe, let me in.
What?
I've done it. I've done it, damn it. He was right. This is just crazy. I can't believe it. Look at yourself, Louis. You better not get caught. Whoa. I still need to get used to this body. So, let's see about what Mortimer asked me. Right. Well, it's time I got started. Let's see what I can find here to help me write that letter. I have no means to validate my forgery, so I better take my time with it and not make any mistakes. There are 2 letters from the Pope on the desk. I should be able to get a clue or 2 by checking how well they correspond to each other. And here are 3 stamps. All are different. Right. Well, let's start writing.
Lord Mortimer asked me to discredit Sir Gregory and to announce Piaggi's final vote in his favor. As an introduction, Your Holiness, thank you for your trust. It turns out, now that I'm here, that I find Lord Mortimer's projects grant us many more advantages in comparison to what Sir Gregory had suggested. We are talking about the future of the Holy See. There. That should be enough to justify the change of vote. There's a kind of code composed of 6 letters that they always write under the dates of their correspondence. According to Mortimer, it's got something to do with Piaggi's tattoo. I guess I'll have to write one for today's date. Now, ideally, it'd be better to do without it, but I'm going to need to be extremely clever here. Today the date is 24/01/1793. 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 Today is the 24/01/1793.
one of the letters, the Pope asked Piaggi to change and to stop using his personal stamp. He asked him to use the one with the Pope's motto on it. Must be in Latin. And I remember that. Flore in Domo Domini. Justitia, misericordia, e humiltà. Boy, I gotta brush up on my foreign languages. A circle with a cross inside. On it is written, Flore in Domo Domini.
Your Eminence, all ready to send... What's he doing here?
Damn it. That's all I need.
Don't worry, he can't hear us.
What do you mean he can't hear us? What's going on here, Piaggi?
Calm down now. Monsieur de Richet came to see me because he was having anxiety attacks and wanted something to help him relax. I'm afraid I've been a little heavy-handed.
You can say that again.
I was about to fetch someone to take care of him. Would you care to go?
There he is, and there he stays. The perfect opportunity.
What do you mean?
It's been a while now that I've been hoping for a chance to get rid of him.
No, listen, my son. This is all getting out of hand.
Hogwash! I don't trust him in the slightest.
Why not?
Can you keep A secret.
Of course, my son. Would you like to tell me under the confidentiality of confession?
Ah, don't talk rubbish. I don't trust the little runt because he is Mortimer's son. Would you believe it?
How does he know?
Dear God, how is that possible? I am flabbergasted.
We've wasted enough time. What if he wakes up? If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just turn away and leave everything to me.
This is not a decision to be taken lightly.
You're defending him now.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
He's made you change sides, hasn't he? The slime bag. He works for Mortimer. Good thing I already tried to warn Gregory.
I am certain that Sir Gregory would be opposed.
You know nothing! I know Sir Gregory better
That's
than...
against the rules of the conference, Monsieur von Wollner. I refuse to go against Sir Gregory.
Right.
Monsieur von Wollner, I always act in the best interest of all. I assure you.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
You must have lost your mind to want to take such an extreme course of action.
No one's asking you to help me do it.
You can't attack him without running the risk of jeopardizing the conference.
Even though Sir Gregory has the edge?
No, Gregory will never forgive you.
Very well, Piaggi, you win.
I refuse to let you do the first thing that comes into your head.
I don't know what the two of you are up to, but I'll find out sooner or later.
Right. Time for me to get back into my body. Right. Don't just stand there, Louis. Mortimer's waiting for you in the Red Salon. Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it. Amber crystals.
So, Louis, what was your first time like? Bewildering, isn't it?
Here's your letter. I have to admit, the experience was utterly amazing.
Come, tell me more.
Everything went as planned. I didn't encounter any particular difficulties.
Well done, you. On my first try, well, it took me 3 goes. But you did it. Gregory, what can I do for you?
I've just come to make sure dear Louis has all the information he needs.
Needs for what?
You are free to make your own choices, William. I would like the same for him, too.
There's nothing I want more, Gregory.
Your schemes will lead to your demise, brother. Don't involve Louis. He has nothing to do with all this. The end of the conference approaches, and this masquerade will soon be torn asunder. Don't drag him down with you in your disgrace.
Oh, ye of little faith.
On the contrary, brother, Louis has just entered the family. Give him a chance to find his place.
His place?
What place is that?
At the end of a leash, like all the others.
Don't listen to him. He's angry with our father.
And with good reason. He governs us in the same way he governs humanity. Through fear and submission.
Same old tune. When will you understand that it's necessary to impose order for things to move forward properly?
You are under his thumb and proud of it. Open your eyes, for crying out loud. His whole system has become outdated, and he's too old to see it. He will lead us to our demise.
Here he goes with another of his grand speeches. William has always been fond of staging big scenes. It's his theatrical side.
Does he have an inferiority complex?
I've told him time and time again, Louis. He always has to take it one step too far.
How dare you? You are blind, brother. Even if the evidence bit you on the nose, you still wouldn't see it. I feel sorry for you.
Tea is drunk hot or not at all, William. When will you learn? It's too bitter. You shouldn't let it brew so long.
I knew you'd be coming along. You are so predictable.
Methodical, I would say. Things must be accomplished in the right order if we want the world to keep turning as it does.
You came here to warn me, sir.
No, to advise you.
Advise me against my father. Why?
I think you are capable of deciding for...
You haven't answered my question. Why warn me against my father? What are you afraid he will do to me?
Well, I wouldn't want him to lead you into... I don't know what absurd adventure in which...
You act as though I were in danger.
I agree with Louis, Gregory. You're trying to pass me off as a villain about to devour him.
That's not funny, William. I won't let him follow you.
You see, Louis, Gregory came here to make you change your mind. It's time for things to change. I acknowledge Father has done many good things for humanity, but his time is over, and now he must pass on the torch.
That's enough. There, Louis. That's the pathetic example your father has to offer. I really am sorry about what happened to you. You don't know our family yet. We can't have given you a very good impression, but bear in mind that we are all against William's project.
On the contrary.
If he insists on going through with it, we will have no other choice than to intervene by force. Consequently, my dear Louis, you're going to have to choose sides. I would much rather have met you in different circumstances.
There you are, Louis. See what happens when you don't follow their orders to the letter.
Louis, I'm afraid the time to decide is now. If you follow William, he will drag you down with him. If, on the other hand, you support me, I can assure you that nothing will happen to you. You won't be blamed for your father's errors.
Ah, the masks are off. I offer you liberty. He obliges you to choose, and shamelessly asks you to betray your own father. That is their true face.
Right. Before I answer, well, I'd better think it over very carefully. Do I intend to embrace my demon nature and take my place on the chessboard? Do I stay out of it and do my utmost to stop them? Or do I renounce my nature and do all I can to stay human? I was born a man. I grew up as such. Finding out that I'm a demon makes no difference. I refuse to let them manipulate humanity the way they do. They're gonna ask me to choose between them. I'll just have to go with the lesser evil of the two. But they better not count on me to keep my word. I'll bring them all down.
So? What do you choose, Louis?
I shall follow my father, Sir Gregory.
Very well. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Please, don't take offense, but I just can't turn my back on him. That said, if he turns his back on me, I won't be slow in sticking a dagger between his shoulder blades.
It's time we finished what we started, brother. The final vote of the conference over the acquisition of Louisiana will take place in a few hours. I propose you gather your troops and prepare to close the debate.
That's precisely what I was going to suggest.
Come, follow me. It's time for us to get ready.
Do you really think we have a chance of winning?
A chance? You don't know me very well, Louis. We are going to win.
But it only takes one person to vote against us, and we'll have lost.
That's true. That's why none of them will. Why? Because I have an asset that they do not.
Which is?
You. My friends, prepare yourselves. The conference is about to resume. The time has come to lay down all our cards.